How are you? It's Sue here. I help women change their lives regardless of their age, and change can be anything from finding life purpose to transitioning careers, figuring out what you want to be when you grow up, what to do after the kids fly the coop, finding life purpose, all that kind of cool stuff. I just finished my yoga practice. Check my hair out, it's a little wild. I had a really bizarre realization right before I started practicing that I thought would be super cool to share with you. Before I practiced, and I practiced later in the day today, I was looking at my year planner about what I had planned to do for all of 2016, and I kind of broken it down into month by month stuff that I wanted to achieve. And I was looking at August, and I was actually shocked at how small I had made the month. I really only had a few things that I wanted to accomplish. In my mind at the time, they seemed like they were really big things, but they were actually things that I could probably, now looking back or now looking ahead, I really can accomplish in a very short amount of time. And I was kind of wondering, what was going on in my head that I made such a small list of things to achieve. And this is from someone who's a coach and someone who really believes in living your purpose every single day. And so what I think has happened is that over the last few months, I've started looking at when you live your life purpose and it is part of your everyday, your work, that in order to honor it, you have to start looking at the things that you do as almost artistic expression that needs to come out of you, that has to come out no matter what. It's almost like you got to brush your teeth every day. You have to put on your clothes every day. You have to eat every day. It's kind of like that. In order for me to live my purpose, which is wrapped up in the work that I do, I have to do it every day, and I have to do it as a creative expression rather than something that I have to do for work. And I think in the past, I know that my purpose is the work that I'm doing, but I've also looked at kind of the day-to-day practicalities of things as work stuff that I have to do. Like, today I've got to do video, and tomorrow I've got to start working on this book, or the next day I've got to do this thing or that thing, and more like a list of not so much chores, but just things that I have to do, whereas in the last few months, I've just been looking like, this is stuff that I must do because it's my soul's expression, because it feels good, because it's a piece of me. For example, when I looked at my diary, or let me just go back even further. When I wrote my first book, Be Your Own Change Guru, it was a few years ago. I made a promise that I would write a book every single year. And now I've just finished my fourth book, and that puts me probably about a year ahead of schedule. And I'm also writing a second book, and I have a third book going on that I'm probably going to finish. I'm doing in them very short, small books. But my plan is to have 10 books on Amazon in the next 12 months. And it's just because I've realized that, that's something that actually feels good for me to do. I don't have to spend so much time working on something, and that is an efficient use of my expression, the expression of my purpose. What's an efficient use of the expression of my purpose is getting everything out as fast and as much as I can. And today was a perfect example of that. Like, in the past, I would just do, one podcast a week, and that might fill up my day because I'd work on the scripting of it, and then I'd work on the promotion of it, and that would kind of be my day. But today, I've already done a podcast. I've already done almost all the audio tracks for my latest book. I'm doing my live stream. I've already done, different elements for my messaging. I'm getting ready for my mastermind, and that's just, the day isn't even over yet. But what I've done, rather than thinking of it as a big laundry list, is it's just like, this is stuff that's in my heart and soul and needs to come out of me. It's a creative expression that needs to come out of me. And I think what happens a lot of times for us when we kind of dream of living on purpose is we forget about the part of it that needs to be nurtured. The muscle part of it, that part that actually just needs to come out on a daily basis and be trained to be efficient, that part of us that needs the voice of it, what our message to come through loud and clear, how that has to be done every day. And I think sometimes we take our creative abilities and we do them in fits and starts. We'll be really creative one day or on a weekend, and then we won't see our creativity back for another month or for a couple weeks. It's just either go hard, really fast, or, all or nothing kind of attitude. Whereas now my overall practice of my life, my daily life, which is my work part, is to just come from a soul level and just create and just bring it every day. Whatever is on my mind, whatever needs to come out, that comes out. That comes out through my work. One thing I think that has really helped this attitude and has completely boosted my productivity and kept me from being small, keeps me from playing small, is that I continually have that attitude of done is better than perfect. I used to spend a lot of time on my YouTube videos. I would edit them and write the scripting for them. And right now I'm really enjoying just being able to do just a live stream, no scripting, just speaking completely from the heart, speaking off the cuff, not really caring too much about what I look like. I probably should care a little bit more, but I want you to see the real me too. And just doing these things, just doing them and just getting them out and not overthinking them. And that way they don't take me all day long, and it makes me able to move on to my next thing and keep on being creative. I find these last few months of doing this has, number one, I don't feel burnt out. I feel energized. I don't feel bottled up. I don't feel like I'm holding anything back. I'm just letting things out. I also feel like my voice and my mission and my message of helping women of all ages, regardless of their age, live their dream life and figuring out ways to do that. I feel like that message is getting stronger and louder and clearer. And I'm also finding that I really am enjoying the process so much more of putting my stuff out there, because I'm not laboring super hard on it. I'm just putting stuff out there, writing books as fast as I can, doing all the creative pursuits, the creative parts of this process as fast as I can, because it's not only fast in getting out there, but it's just like, that's what's in my heart and soul right now. What is the point in holding off on these things till a time where I'm more in the mood, or a time, when I have a freer schedule? They're meant to come out right now, those soul's desire. And a while ago I posted a thing on my social about those light bulb moments that you get. Those really inspired moments where you think of a really super cool idea and you think about it and it seems so good, and then the more you think about it, it kind of dims a bit, because maybe you tell someone and they're not as interested in it as you are, or time goes on and you kind of lose the moment. Well, I really believe that when you have those light bulb moments, that is like a soul calling. It's like a knock on your soul's door to, hey, let me out. Do something with this right now, whether it is write it down, or draw it, or paint it, or run it, or travel it, or do something with this thing. It's a distinct message, and a lot of times we just write these things off because we're too busy, or we feel a little bit afraid of what people will think if we do them, or a million other excuses. So the bottom line is that I think that we completely underestimate what we're capable of, and we get lost in the idea that if we do more, we're going to be more stressed, more busy. We don't want more on our plate, and that's absolutely not what I'm not about. I'm not about running ourselves into the ground, but I am about releasing what's in your heart and soul. And it's really important to look at, hey, are you really playing at the level that you feel like, you can? Are you holding yourself back? Sometimes, like me, you might not even realize that you are. So that was a really cool realization. And to sum it all up, just consider that soul's expression as something that you have to do. It's not like a gift that comes to you once in a while. It's something that you must do on a daily basis, working the muscle, sharpening the sword at that, and just actually really enjoying being able to give your gift of purpose to the world in whatever kind of work that you do. So that's that. So those are the kind of realizations that I'm going to be teaching and sharing in my upcoming Inner Circle Mastermind, which begins next week, September 1st. And there's still a couple spots left, and I would love you to join in. I'll tell you quickly about it right now. What happens is that for 6 weeks, you and I and a small group of like-minded women get together. We have a private Facebook group. I do live streams like this addressed on the needs of the group. So the different members are there for different reasons, but the bottom line is we all want to have a great life. And for those 6 weeks, we work on ways to really go from one level to the next level. So in addition to live streams, I do postings all the time in our Facebook group. You have 100% access to me through the Facebook group and through Messenger. I do emails, and we also do a live group session. We have two options for those. One is for it's for the evening North America time, and then one is for the morning in Europe time. And so they're not mandatory, but they're super cool. And if you ever miss them, we have like a DIY version of them too. But it's a pretty amazing 6 weeks, because what happens is a lot of first of all, for some women have never experienced what it's like to work with the coach. So you have me to help you strategize on how to go for your goals from one level to the next, and also to do them in a way that is really aligned with who you are as a person, the lifestyle that you have, and also how to really finish, how to complete the goal. So you learn a lot of practices and do a lot of exercises that will support the goal that you want to do, but also help you get to the end of it. So you're a different person from the time that you start and to the end. I think that this Inner Circle Mastermind is really good for women that are perhaps looking down the barrel of empty nest, wondering who they are if they're not a mom, or maybe you're in a career that you don't love right now and you really want to be able to do things like live your purpose and have creative expression every single day. And so we can work on a way to move into a dream career. Also, for those of you who are like me, who are just really, really so strongly bent on living your purpose every single day, but maybe don't even know what your purpose is, that's something that we can work on too. And of course, there is that very popular subject of the rut. How do you deal with being stuck? What is it? How do you get out of a rut? So that's something else that was really, really super effective for working in a mastermind with, because number one, you have me as your coach using all kinds of really super cool tools and ideas and changing belief systems to help you get there, but you also have the accountability factor. You can't bail on what you want to do, because you're telling everybody in your group what your goals are, you're telling me what your goals are, and you got to show up every single day at your own pace. It's at your own pace, so you just show up when you, and the Facebook group when you want to, but you literally have to participate in this group and do the work. You got to roll up your sleeves. So there's no excuses. There's no saying, oh, I don't have time to do this, or I wasn't in the mood, but you just have to show up. And that's how we get stuff done. It's very powerful, because you actually are saying the things that are on your mind, and you're also saying them in a safe place. Often we feel like, maybe our friends don't understand us, or our family doesn't understand the things that are in our heart. So you're able to share these things with women that really get you, and you'd be surprised at the shared experiences that we all have, regardless of where we're from or what the particular goals that we're going for are. So I've got a couple spaces left, and one thing that I said on my newsletter that just went out last night, if you haven't read it yet, if you're on my newsletter and you haven't read it yet, is that I'm going to be giving all the participants in this mastermind my latest program, which is Write Your First Book in 10 Days After 40. I'm giving it to everybody because maybe there is someone in this group that wants to write a book, and that way they can go through the, oh, my hair, gotta get my hair cut. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe, just maybe, they can work on that program and take advantage of me holding them accountable and also helping them bring that book to fruition. So the bottom line, this is going to be a really cool program beginning September 1st. And imagine, if you did this program for 6 weeks, imagine what you'll be like at the end of those 6 weeks. The end of the year is coming up, and wouldn't it be cool to learn how to goal set, to learn how to achieve your goals, and then you can realize, I'm not playing small anymore. I'm learning how to kind of really work that muscle, sharpen the sword of productivity, and imagine all the things that you can do. Imagine the ripple effect that it has when you back yourself and do something that is just for you, investing in yourself. So I'll put the link to the mastermind in the description for this video, and you can also find it over at thechangeguru.net/mastermind. Starts September 1st. I still have a couple spaces left, and I think one of them's meant for you. All right. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye for now.